こんにちは、ジャパニーズアモのミサです。Hey guys, today I'm going to teach you common Japanese onomatopoeic expressions. So, as you guys know, I have translated manga, right? So you can read manga without understanding Japanese onomatopoeia. You can kind of ignore them, but you definitely can enjoy reading manga more if you do. And also, if you want to sound fluent in Japanese, you have to use some onomatopoeic expressions. So I will teach you the useful ones today, but we are going to test your knowledge. So if you don't know any Japanese onomatopoeia, it's okay. We are going to learn them today. But I'm going to ask you to guess what the words mean. So let me know the results in the comments. If you get them all, you're onomatope hakase. So onomatopoeia, you can either say onomatope or gyongo, giseigo, gitaigo. I will make a separate video on the differences between them. But today, just have fun and try guessing the meaning of each onomatope. Okay, the first one. 一番簡単なのから始めましょう。ごくごく。ごくごく。ごくごく。Let's see how it's used in a sentence. ごくごく飲む。ごくごく飲む。or ごくごくと飲む。ごくごくと飲む。So the verb 飲む is a huge hint. 飲む to drink. ごくごく is the sound of gulping. So it's the sound of throat. So if you read the manga and the character is drinking something, you usually see the onomatopoeia ごくごく. Be careful though, because the word ごくごく can also be used as 非常に very extremely. So you might sometimes hear ごくごく普通の人. It's kind of a common set expression. ごくごく普通の人 means とても普通の人. Like very ordinary person. That doesn't mean gulp, gulp. Normal person. So if you see the word ごくごく in front of an adjective or an adverb, so ごくごく普通、ごくごく自然, then you should translate like extremely, very. But if you see it with the verb especially 飲む to drink, then it means gulping. 次、2番目。くしゃくしゃ。くしゃくしゃ。くしゅくしゅくしゅくしゅ。例えば、くしゃくしゃの紙。くしゃくしゃの紙。紙 means paper. Maybe a better hint would be このテストは点が悪かったからくしゃくしゃにして捨てた。このテストは点が悪かったからくしゃくしゃにして捨てた。このテスト test, this test 点 is score 点が悪かった悪い bad 悪かった was bad から that's why くしゃくしゃにして捨てた捨てた捨てる is to throw away, right? So 捨てた throw away. I did something to the paper before throwing away. What do you think? I got maybe 5 out of 100 and then I'm really angry. So I'm like, ah! Poi. Poi is also another onomatopoeia. It's the sound of throwing something away. Poi. Anyway, くしゃくしゃ means crumpled or wrinkled. So, くしゃくしゃにする is to crumple up. So, 紙をくしゃくしゃにする is to crumple up a piece of paper. くしゃくしゃにする is the verb to crumple up. But you can also say この紙くしゃくしゃ to mean this paper is crumpled. くしゃくしゃの紙くしゃくしゃの紙 to mean crumpled paper. This word is also super useful when talking about shirts being wrinkled or crumpled. So, ワイシャツを洗ったらくしゃくしゃになっちゃった。Very common, or at least this happens to me all times. ワイシャツを洗ったらくしゃくしゃになっちゃった。くしゃくしゃになる。Become crumpled. Become wrinkled. なっちゃった。ちゃった is like, I didn't mean to, or, it happened and I don't like that it happened. 次、3番目。ニヤニヤ。ニヤニヤ。I like this word. You also see this a lot in manga. A lot. ニヤニヤ or ニヤ。ニヤニヤ。例えば、なんでニヤニヤしてんの？気持ち悪い。I mean, 気持ち悪い is not necessary, but なんでニヤニヤしてんの？なんでニヤニヤしてんの？ニヤニヤは声を出さないで笑うことです。わかりますか？声を出さないで笑う。笑う to smile, to laugh. In this case, smile. 声 is voice, right? 声を出す。声を出さないで。So you smile without making any noise. So you don't like laugh out loud, but you just... Niya niya can be translated like grinning or smirking, right? It's just... the important thing is that you are not making any sound. But usually people think when you niya niya suru, right? People think that's kind of creepy. So you might do this niya niya when you know you're gonna win in a game. Like you're playing a card game and like, I know I'm gonna win the next turn. I was like, yeah, niya niya shiteru. Or you're looking at something funny or something pervy and you're trying not to smile too much, and then you might look, like niya niya shiteru. Instead of niya niya suru, you can say niyakeru. It's kind of more slangy. So niya niya usually kind of has a negative connotation, right? Although it doesn't have to. Usually it does. So if you just wanna describe nice smile, you can say nico nico. So if somebody is smiling and you find that cute, for example, you say, あの子ニコニコしてて可愛い. That girl is smiley or the child is smiley and cute. But yeah, I think Light from Death Note is always ニヤニヤしてる。次。これも簡単だと思います。ブルブル。ブルブル。Okay, a hint. 寒くてブルブル震える。寒くてブルブル震える。So, 寒い cold, right? So, something you do when it's cold. So, the verb 震える means to shiver or to tremble.And the onomatopoeia buru-buru describes someone trembling or shivering, usually because it's cold. Buru-buru, buru-buru. Like, brrr, right? Buru-buru. So again, you'd probably see this word buru-buru in manga if a character is shivering. 次。ぐっすり。ぐっすり。Not sure if you can guess it just from the sound. ぐっすり。But I'll give you a hint. ぐっすり寝る or ぐっすり寝られた。寝る means to sleep, right? 寝られた I was able to sleep. So ぐっすり is usually used with the verb 寝る or 眠る and it describes you sleeping soundly, deeply, well. So this word is really commonly used. So if I'm hosting my friend,at my place, I would usually ask, ぐっすり寝られた? ぐっすり寝られた? or some people might say ぐっすり寝れたぐっすり寝れた So you can also omit the ra there to sound more informal, but it's technically incorrect. So I try not to say that. But yeah, ぐっすり寝れた or more correctly, ぐっすり寝られた So that's how you can say, did you sleep well? Instead of ぐっすり, you can say よく寝られたよく寝られた But I would say the word ぐっすり is as common as the word よく when it comes to sleeping. 次カラカラ or you might hear 喉カラカラ more often 喉カラカラ喉 throat, right? So 喉カラカラ means the same as 喉乾いた 喉乾いた I'm thirsty, I'm parched. Karakara describes the state of being thirsty, like your mouth being dry. So if your hands are dry, you'd actually use another word, kasakasa. So my hands are mega dry right now, actually. So 手がカッサカサです。手がカサカサです。So did you notice I first said 手がカッサカサ So I put the small t there, カッサカサ Instead of カサカサ, you can also say カッサカサ to put more emphasis on the fact that it's really dry. So instead of adding the word like とてもすごく, you can just put the small t to mean like very dry. So that happens a lot in Japanese actually. Like even the word とても can become とっても if you wanna stress it more and say it's very, you know, it's the same in English. You say it's very cute. You can also say it's very cute. And you can say very, it's the same in Japanese. You can say とっても or the word すごく You can say すっごくかわいい instead of すごくかわいい You can't add small to any noun, but you can do this カッサカサ And also when the food is dry, like bread is dry, the cake is dry, you can say パサパサ, also about hair. So hair, food, especially like bread and cakes.You can say パサパサ and instead of just このパンパサパサ if you want to say this bread is very dry, you can say このパンパッサパサPut a lot of stress on パこのパンパッサパサ手カッサカサ And for being parched, you can also say 喉カラカラThe next one, ペコペコ So it's kind of related. ペコペコ I love this word so much, it sounds so cute. お腹ペコペコお腹ペコペコお腹 is stomach, right? So can you guess what it means? It means starving. Normal Japanese would be お腹すいたRight? お腹すいた But instead of すいた you can say ペコペコお腹ペコペコ And this sounds very cute. So 喉カラカラ it doesn't necessarily make you sound cute. お腹ペコペコ definitely does. So some guys prefer not to say it, but I think it sounds cute if a guy says it too. If you wanna sound super masculine, you can say 腹減った腹減った So like personally I would never say 腹減った Like that sounds too macho to me, but yeah お腹ペコペコ or standard お腹すいたお腹ペコペコと言ったら私もお腹ペコペコです So this video was sponsored by Bokkes ありがとうございます And actually, reading the names of Japanese snacks is such a good practice for remembering onomatopoeia. カリッとジャガ とじゃが。じゃが means potato, like じゃがいも, right? カリ that's onomatopoeia again. So カラカラ means thirsty. カリカリ can you guess what it means? Let me demonstrate it. This is the sound of カリカリカリ. So it means crunchy. Sometimes it can be used as crispy. If you want to say crispy, you'd often use the word saku-saku. Saku-saku. So if you eat tempura, for example, you know, the sound it makes that's sak-sak, sak-sak, not kari-kari. Kari, that's, yeah, it's much harder. Something is much harder. And Japanese people are usually obsessed with food that is 外はサクサク、中はふわふわ。外 is outside, right? 外はサクサク, so crunchy on the outside. And 中はふわふわ。ふわふわ is fluffy. So fluffy on the inside. 中はふわふわ。We use it a lot, ふわふわ. So if you're talking about animals, yeah, Japanese people love to say ふわふわ, so fluffy, ふわふわ. Or when they talk about some food being soft and nice, they would say ふわふわ, like このパンふわふわ. So remember the opposite, bread being dry is パッサパサ, right? パサパサ. If the bread is really bad, they would say, このパンパサパサ、まず。But if it's really good bread, people probably say, このパンふわふわ、おいしい。So, パサパサ、ふわふわ。And Bokusu is still having a giveaway, free tickets to Japan. All you need to do is subscribe to Bokusu before December 31st, and you will automatically enter the giveaway. And you can use my code JapaneseAmo10 to get 10% off. So the code and the link are in the description box, so make sure to use them. So, I am not, but if I'm full, I can say お腹パンパン. お腹パンパン. That's another common onomatopoeia. お腹パンパン is the same as お腹いっぱい. So I'm full. This word パンパン can also be used about a bag being full. So if you pack too much into a bag, you can say カバンパンパン. カバンパンパン. Or カバン is like usually like a handbag, right? If it's just a shopping bag, like a plastic one, you can say 袋. And you can say 袋パンパン. 袋パンパン. So お腹パンパン、袋パンパン. And it might sound ridiculous and childish, but it's not. It's not a childish word at all. You can use it like お腹パンパン or yeah, カバンパンパンだね. Like your bag is so full or your bag is like so packed that it looks like it's gonna burst or break. And yeah, パンパンだね. And just to make sure, do you remember how to say starving? So, パンパン, full, but ペコペコ, ペコペコ. And another interesting thing about the word ペコペコ, if you change the pitch accent, if you say ペコペコ, and for example say ペコペコする, that means to bow and scrape. So you apologize and you bow so much. Like in Japanese culture, you bow when you apologize, right? That action is like ペコペコする, right? So it's kind of like sucking up in a way, but if you say like あの人いつもペコペコしてる, then it's like, oh, that person is always so apologetic, like over the top, and it almost looks like they are trying to please the other person, and like, you know, they have no respect for themselves. So again, it's used negatively, ペコペコする. Or you can say like ペコペコするのは嫌い. I don't want to look pathetic. ペコペコしたくない. So peko peko, that's the bowing and apologizing, right? Whilst peko peko, that's starving. Yeah, so there is a difference, but don't worry too much. If you say onaka, then people know what you mean anyway. Onaka peko peko. And if you say onaka peko peko, it sounds a little bit strange, but people would know what you mean. And yeah, don't worry too much about sounding perfect and sounding like a native speaker. Like, if it's your goal, it's great, but don't let that get in the way of you practicing and speaking. I was also always scared of speaking English because I was like, people would judge me, people would make fun of me, but I had to get over that and start actually speaking and practicing. So that's how you get better, unfortunately. No, unfortunately, it's good to socialize and talk to people. So anyway, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to this channel. And yeah, make sure to check out Bokusu. You can also check their website for more information. All the links are in the description box and in the comments. So yeah, and let me know how you did on this test, like mini test. If you got them all, congratulations! おめでとうございます。If not, it's okay. You can start using them from today. はい。じゃあ、またね。バイバーイ。